the Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson. Join Dana Irvine, holistic nutritionist and breast health educator, to explore holistic breast health and self-care practices in episode 108.
And I thought that's strange. A lot of them in the younger years, not our age, because we were taught that in school, but the younger age, the 30-year-olds, the 35-year-old women are not performing monthly breast exams. They're just, feeling around, making sure, and then off they go, rather than understanding the sense of performing a self-breast exam and mapping out your breast tissue to understand those different lumps or bumps and if they change, and just practicing that self-care. But it's also this sense of understanding the emotions that can sit. And so I have, there's different types of breast oils out there. I'm always encouraging women to use a breast oil when they're doing their daily sort of self-care routine. Because they smell wonderful, but it can help with the tissue or help with the health of the armpits, the lymphatic system.
Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast, a space where stories of strength, resilience, and transformation unfold. I'm your host, Sharlene Lynch, and I'm honoured to be your guide on this journey of empowerment and healing. Today, we have a very special episode tailored just for you, whether you're driving, sipping a cup of tea, or simply taking a moment to yourself. I want you to know that you're in a safe place. Healing Through Love is more than a podcast. It's a community, a beacon of hope, and a reminder that you are not alone. In this episode, we have a guest who will share their story that resonates with the core of our mission, a story that illuminates the power of love, resilience, and unwavering strength that lies within each of us. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let the healing begin. Before we dive into today's episode, our exciting narrative, a quick reminder that if you find our episodes engaging and you want to support us, please subscribe and share and leave a review. Your engagement helps us reach the hearts and spread the message of healing. Today, we've got an amazing guest. Dana Irvine she's a holistic nutritionist and a breast health educator. And we're going to have a conversation about your tartars today. Now, she's been coaching since 2019. She's been providing professional medical imaging services. And I just can't wait to find out, how did you choose this as a career?
Hi, thank you so much for welcoming me to the show.
It's great to have you here. I'd love to know, how did you end up having this as a career?
Sorry. So back in 2018, my sister was diagnosed with brain cancer. And I thought there always should have been a way to notice and understand illness much better. It just kind of surely didn't just come out of the blue. And there's always signs and symptoms. So that started my path on thermography and holistic healing. Thermography is an infrared study of the body, if you're not understanding that. Through my career with thermography, I was always amazed how women never touch their breast, let alone there was so much trauma around breast, whether it was sexual, whether it was just childcare, and they always just left them aside. So I was always baffled that women never touch their own breasts. And I understand the complexity around that. And that started me to understand, well, there has to be so much more. There needs to be a better prevention aspect when it comes to breast cancers, breast trauma, in the healing of the breast. There's so much connection with the breast. So that started my journey of understanding, the breast health, breast nutrition, breast exams. And that started, I wanted a fun name because it needs to be fun about it. It's not, came up with the Touch Your Tatas breast health education course. So it's been a journey and I love it. And I love traveling around and getting women to touch their tatas from a sense of education and prevention, right? So it's a fun, exciting, it's very exciting talking to women. And that started the Wise Divine Woman podcast, where I'm trying to get women not only to learn about health and learn about menopause and learn this transition is supposed to be a glorious transition, and it never is. So that's my journey. It's kind of following me along this crazy journey of menopause myself, but yeah.
Oh, I love it. So I loved my journey. I thought it was fascinating, and I don't now out the other side, I'm like wondering what did I do differently than everyone else to have a different result. So I still haven't unpacked that, and that's okay, but it is a journey. And I love the power of the crone. I love being 57 years old. I love knowing more and still getting away with behaving badly. So it's a great place to be. And it's a journey. And like anything, it's about the journey. It's not just about the destination. I love that. So that's fascinating. So your sister actually started you leaning into this area because of her particular challenge. Is that right?
Right. So she was diagnosed in 2015 and oh my goodness, 2015. And then through surgery and radiation, she was fine. And then it came back twofold in 2018 and passed from the glioblastoma. And so I really felt it important for people to start. There has to be a way to understand health from a perspective, from a bigger picture, right? So that was the journey of thermography. And I love thermography. I love meeting women all over Ontario and helping them along the way. And then in that, again, breast cancer is one of those diseases that I believe should have better education around it rather than just a fear. And I think it's tapping into a inset fear with women not knowing, and there needs to be a better education point around it. So that's my challenge with it. But again, it's just teaching and educating and understanding the importance of the breast even after breastfeeding.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So yeah, and then it's very interesting, honestly.
It is. It's fascinating. So in Australia, we have big vans that are like a semi-trailer, and they go to particular destinations, rurally and like out in the country, and also here inside the city. And they are breast examination trailers. So it's part of our health setup that you don't pay for the system. You basically book in, and if you're over a certain age, then you get so many visits. And then they send you an email to remind you about the next visit. So they take it here in Australia, they take it really seriously because it is a preventable cancer. And by having that education and having the free service, now that's free to everybody, regardless of what medical.
So do you mean the actual, they do self breast exams?
Yeah, so they actually do the squash and take the
mammograms. Yes,
yeah.
Mammograms and ultrasounds.
So they do that, and then they do another one. So if there is anything that they see that might be challenging, then you go and you book in to go to a clinic, but it's all paid for by the government. So regardless,
same here. Yeah. Same here in Canada. But I have found that people have have a fear of the mammogram, or the fear of the compression, or the fear of the radiation, or that they have suffered an injury from that. And then so many women refuse.
Wow.
So many women, even after 70, they don't do mammograms any longer for women after 70, or they space them out further after 75. But again, there's a lot of fear based behind that. The mammogram program, the ultrasound program, the sonograms are absolutely incredible and necessary. And I'm not saying that. A lot of people are not doing their monthly self breast exams and not realizing they need to eat nutrition wise for self breast exams, and not understanding that trauma itself, loss or grief or anger, can actually sit in the breast tissue itself, and or the toxins or toxic lifestyles can enhance that. So it's a little bit, yes, the every 2 years mammogram is great, but it's not a separate system, but it affects, they're like the cherry on top. Whatever else is going in the body and what's happening in the body reflects in the breast tissue. And women need to be I feel women and men need to be doing their monthly breast exams rather than waiting every 1 to 2 years
Absolutely.
for this system.
In Australia, we like to say copper feel.
I love that. I love
Very
that.
Aussie.
Yes.
It's very Aussie. So it's interesting. I was part of I was part of a study. So myself and a group of, because I'm a belly dancer, so we're all good with having everything out and about. So a group of my friends who are belly dancers all said that they would be happy to donate their bodies for a series of tests. So what this was a lady who invented pretend breasts, yes? But what they did is inside these pretend breasts, they put different size cancers and also different size nodules that weren't cancerous. And the idea is that the doctors then can learn what's the difference. So they've got all of these things that they've got to rub and feel, but then they've also got to rub and feel us. So you imagine this, there was, I think, 12 of us from belly dancing there, and we're all in separate rooms, and a group of doctors come in, and then they've got to feel the pretend breast, and then they've got to feel our breast. Anyway, it was a very interesting experience. But the end result is that now they'll change the way that they educate doctors here in Australia. And
that's brilliant.
tell the difference. So let's come from our Monash University. So they really, I love the fact that I do think it's important to copper feel, yes, and it's good also that the doctors have this real life experience where they can actually tell the difference. And so they know what they're looking for. Particularly, I suppose, if you're a gentleman, you don't have your own breasts to be feeling to be able to know what they're supposed to feel like. I love
so
it.
true, so true. I love that. I love that the university has went that extra point in education for the doctors. Some of our practitioners here don't perform yearly breast exams any longer, so some of the things have changed here, but that's okay. Women need themselves to understand. And that's why I created the Touch Your Tata's breast health map, because understanding the tissue of your own breast month to month, I think, is a far better educator and releases the fear of breast cancer from ourselves rather than there's a lump and panic. And so many people, I was speaking with some friends last weekend and talking to them about this, and their friend just had a double mastectomy. So that creates a lot of trauma, like a lot of emotion and a lot of fear around it, not knowing what to touch or how to feel or how to perform a monthly breast exam. And I thought that's strange. A lot of them in the younger years, not our age, because I think honestly, we were taught that in school, but the younger age, the 30-year-olds, the 35-year-old women are not performing monthly breast exams. They're just, feeling around, making sure, and then off they go, rather than understanding the sense of performing a self-breast exam and mapping out your breast tissue to understand those different lumps or bumps and if they change, and just practicing that self-care. But it's also this sense of understanding the emotions that can sit. And so I have, there's different types of breast oils out there. I'm always encouraging women to use a breast oil when they're doing their daily sort of self-care routine. One, to because they smell wonderful, but it can help with the tissue or help with the health of the armpits, the lymphatic system. But again, it's reminding them to nurture themselves and to hold the breast and breathe, and always to understand if there's any inset emotion that's holding them back from achieving great things that day. So it's a daily sort of ritual. It's a monthly sort of mapping process where we get to explore and understand. And again, when it comes to preventing breast cancers, it's best to understand ourselves, or preventing breast disease or anything, but it's understanding things from a core emotional component, and what goes in the body reflects out the body. So it goes emotionally wise, and you have such a great attitude, and it's such a beautiful sense that even your menopause was so wonderful, right? It does depend on what is inside, your environment, your genetics, but not so many women are as lucky, and they're very having a very difficult time during this season.
I absolutely understand that. I work with lots of women who are in endocrinology and in the space of perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. So I get it, and I hear the stories. I feel that probably if I hadn't made the changes I had 11 years ago or 12 years ago, then I would have had a completely different story. But I woke up, made some changes, and now live a completely different life. And so that's obviously what we transition through the whole menopause on a completely different level. But one thing that I did do just recently is that about this time last year, I decided to move away from underwire bras because they were no longer really serving me. I'm a busty girl and I like to dance around, being a belly dancer. So underwires, what's your opinion about underwires?
There's a lot of opinions about underwires, but what we're trying not to, I don't like them. They're very uncomfortable. They always dig in. So I've really, ever since COVID, you can hardly find me wearing a bra. So it's, why bother? But no, I think the technology of bras have changed, and there are some fantastic supportive bras that are non-wire. They feel better, they sit better, but what happens is it cuts in and it cuts off the lymphatic system, can cut off the circulation to the breast up from the lymph. It's like a dam. So it holds in all the lymph system and the toxins in the breast tissue. And then there's some who believe, from the amount of computer use we have, it's metal, and is it attracting things? But to me, it's injuring the breast tissue, like the side tissue, the underneath the breast where your lymphatic system is held, the blood system, and you just need to treat them better. There are some beautiful bras, beautiful companies that make amazing bras now, just as sexy. And if you need a sexy underwire, then maybe once, but twice, but not all the time like we used to. And I'm always amazed still with women who wear bras to bed. So it's, again, don't, and please don't. And I'm always reminding my daughter's friends, please stop with wearing bras to bed. They have to breathe.
I have no concept as to why you'd want to wear a bra to bed, but I do say when I began my investigation to try and find bras that had no underwire that would still fit my cup size, I've managed to find a pair of bras. Love them so much. I bought them in every color they have and now have 2 sets of them. They are amazing. I forget to take them off sometimes because they're so comfortable you can't even feel that they're on. But I still wouldn't go to bed with them on. Like, I don't know what that's about.
Yes. And I have to say, it's maybe not so much us older women. For us, it's just reconnecting with the breast. But for younger women, it's a sense of like, okay, please do not put your cell phone in your bra, and stop wearing these constrictive these things. Or again, it's that I'm always amazed with women who have cell phones in their bras. Please stop. And then they wonder why they have these issues that are happening. So so it's about food, and it's about the tissue, and it's about lymphatic system, right? But a lot of women don't understand that the lymph system is connected to the breast, And we know now how important your tooth health or your teeth health, and the correlation with root canals and breast issues and breast cysts. And it's just always, I love talking about it. I can talk about it for hours. But it's been a wonderful journey in getting women just to simplify themselves when it comes to menopause. And I love how it is so important that you make these giant changes ahead of time. And that's the success, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I switched to not a toothpaste. It's something different. I switched to not a deodorant, so no aluminiums or any of those. Yeah, and even my husband now uses a crystal. So like as a deodorant. So yeah, we made lots of health choices that I don't know, just support our level of awareness around what's happening, what we put into our bodies, what we do, all of those things is so important. But I do find that a lot of people that I connect to, lots of younger women that I connect with, are making a point of asking the questions now. So perhaps maybe we are seeing a change in the level of awareness of the next generation, and that they've got a level of curiosity. We hope, because then we can put a stop to these patterns of behaviors where we're just mindlessly saying yes to consumerism that is, it's basically putting toxins in our bodies. Let's just face it. Yeah. And it's the whole medical system to create more people that are sick. But we won't go there.
Right.
Because
No. But I was going to say, it is this, we can't stop our environment. We can't stop the world. There are always women who spiral out of control when it comes to the supplements and detoxes and all this prevention, and I have this and I have that. And I'm always so amazed. Get them one number to breathe, please. Practice your breath. Understand the stress aspect, the stress mechanism will cascade in the body. But we have to prepare our bodies to be inundated with the things that are out of our control. And that's why it's so important to change those habits and eat the food and support your liver health and make sure the bowels are moving, and all these things that are so simple sometimes play a huge impact when it comes to worrying about, our environment that we have no control over, or the stressors in the world, again, that we have no control over. And it is that happy attitude, beautiful smiles, take a deep breath, and reassure ourselves of our strength and our courage, and how powerful that we have inside of us to inundate the chaos of this world. Right?
So true. It's all about self-care, and it starts with a level of awareness. So
It does.
Ask questions, become curious, and your body is it's number one. It's what's going to get you from where you are to where you need to be, and we need to take care of it. And self-care starts with self. So yeah, we need to be that person. So we are encouraging you today to touch your tatas or copper feel if you're in Australia, and do daily breast examinations, and add some flavor here, add some oil to the equation, so it's a much more pleasurable experience for you and your breasts as well. I love this. Okay, so the Sisterhood is a podcast. This is a community of wise, divine women, and they are navigating menopause. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I talk about a lot of things. So it's understanding different types of healthcare or different types of practitioners that are out there, understanding hormone replacement, or even hair therapies and all sorts of different things. But it's also helping women like ourselves who are learning to share our wisdom, our passion, and our journeys. So I always invite so many beautiful people to just learn how to share and learn their journey and understand the process of and the importance of a purpose. Because like yourself, you always started somewhere smaller, and you're always just reaching out and learning more. And it is about menopause. It is about perimenopause. It's about family. It can be about understanding traumas and how to move forward with that. There's been so many beautiful speakers And I'm so glad that I started it because I love learning more and more. And I love sharing the different points of wisdom with my clients, whether it's some crazy frequency therapy or beautiful essential oils, or is it okay to do bioidentical hormones? And so it's a lot of good stuff. I love it.
Oh, I love it. Now you can find the information that links to this on danairvine.com. We'll put the links in the show notes and in the show description today. But yeah, can I encourage you to have a close look at Touch Your Tartars, the 5-minute guide to breast examination, and get connected to the Divine Women, the Wise Divine Women Sisterhood, which is a podcast and also connection on Facebook as a Facebook group as well. I love it. So Dana, in closing today, what would be your words of wisdom to share with our audience?
Don't be afraid to understand your body. Also, don't be afraid to share the wisdom that you've gained over your lifetime, good or bad. It's these expressions of ourselves that are going to help future generations, also help our sisters around us understand that they're not alone. And it is this point of our lives as wise sage, as wise divine women. We understand our own our own divine women or divinity inside of us, or our sense of divine, but also walking into this sense of queenhood, being a queen of our household, right? And that we are wise, that we are moving forward. We have a beautiful community around us, and we are no longer burdened with the sense of family, or not family, but children, where we get to then have this sense of reign and wisdom.
I love that. I love that. I love that. If you're listening today and you are a wellness practitioner, or you might be a survivor of family and domestic violence, or maybe you've just got a heart for change and for making a difference and paying it forward, Healing Through Love is now a global community, and we run pamper days. So think day spa on steroids in your local community. If you'd like to get involved, please reach out to us. Our details are everywhere, Healing Through Love, and we would love to have a conversation with you and see what it looks like to link arms and move forward. It's a goodbye from me and a goodbye from Dana. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.